Hey everyone, this is DHTV, and today I got my hands on the DualShock 4 controller. This is the new controller for the PlayStation 4. So let's go ahead, open it up, take a look at some of the changes, and compare it to the PlayStation 3 DualShock 3. Let's get started. Alright, so this is the DualShock 4. I'm just going to show you the box. There isn't too much to unbox here. Just some basics on the front and on the back. You've got some information on the new control, and you can definitely see it does look quite large compared to the PlayStation 3 control, which we will compare this to in just a little bit. So I'll just go ahead and take this out of the box. So as I said, there wasn't too much inside the box. You have your DualShock 4 controller, and then alongside that is a simple instruction or manual that goes along with it. Unfortunately, they don't provide you with a charging cable, in this case being a micro USB, so definitely keep that in mind if you're going to purchase a second controller. Now right out of the box, you'll see that the DualShock 4 is quite a bit larger than the PlayStation 3 controller, and if you hold them side by side, you can see the DualShock 4 is both taller and wider. Now taking a closer look at the analog sticks, you can definitely see they've gone through a design change, and this is for the better. They're now indented or concave as they're being called, rather than being oval like on the DualShock 3. This is supposed to help you with your grip or with your control, and I can see where that makes sense. The indented feel allows your finger to sort of cup inside, and the outer ring will sort of hold your finger in while you're moving back and forth. Now taking a closer look at the touchpad that you can see takes up most of the controller's middle area, and it actually wraps up to the top and slightly over to the back. Now this actually doubles up as a button as well. It's not that easy to access while you're in gameplay unless you use your thumb and sort of drag over. That's the only way I've thought or found to access that without disturbing your hands or without moving off too many buttons at once. It's pretty interesting, and I hope that PlayStation does a good job with this, and it does open up some really cool features within different games. To the right and left of the touchscreen, you've got your share and options button. Below, you've got a speaker, and you've got your headphone jack here. This is a stereo headphone jack, so you can just plug one up and play your game without disturbing anybody. That's really awesome that it's built into the control. You can see that the control itself looks like it's two-toned here, and it's more like a two-tone or two-texture. This is more matte finish, where this feature or this texture is more like a woven plastic, and it kind of has like a sound to it if you put your nail on it, where this is sort of a flat. It's pretty good. It doesn't really make much of a difference to me. I'm not sure if this transforms over to a better grip, but it's interesting that they actually took the time to put in two different plastics. Now moving on to the back or the top section of the control, we've got the new R2 and L2 buttons here, or triggers, and you can see that they've changed their rounder here, and this in particular, really interesting how they feel. Just playing a couple of games, you really feel like you have more control, especially in a racing game. This will transform into a more controlled acceleration as well as a better grip when you're trying to brake, so you don't have to pull the brake completely. You actually feel like you can give it just a bit if you take that turn really nicely. Also on the top, you can see we have the lights bar here, and this is going to work with the PlayStation Move or the camera, and it's going to change colors depending on how things are going within the game. During the demo, they showed that the color would change as you're getting shot. In a game like Call of Duty, it would go red or orange depending on how much life you had left. So that's pretty interesting how that'll work as well. You can definitely see, if you look at it from this angle especially, and just the way the light holds it, it really does look a lot like an Xbox controller rather than a PlayStation controller, and I'm a fan of that. I've always liked the Xbox controller, and I still think it's the best controller around, but in terms of a change, this is great. Let's take a look and compare it to the PlayStation 3 controller really quick. You can see the changes, and they're quite substantial. The controller looks much more aggressive and modern now. It does have the changes to the touchscreen, the share buttons, the analog sticks, the speaker. It really makes this control look obsolete and old, but the changes are beneficial, especially these analog sticks with the indented feel really will help, especially if you have an old used up control. With the rounded edges here, you'll definitely feel a sliding when the rubber starts to wear down. So this should run a little bit better, a little bit smoother, and I'm glad to see that PlayStation PlayStation took the option to jump into a new controller. I still like the Xbox controller better, but this is a great change. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe. Also, if you haven't circled me on Google Plus yet, go ahead and do so. It'll allow you to comment and interact with me a lot better now that YouTube's made some changes. Let me know what you think of this controller. If you're getting a PS4, also in the comments down below, hit that like button. And don't forget, I'll be posting tons of videos on the PlayStation 4. It should be arriving very shortly, so definitely stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.